The reason why I love oatmeal so much is because of how versatile and how much of a blank canvas it is. Whether you want to start your morning with it, whether you want to have it as a post-lift meal, or whether you want to end your night with a hot bowl of oatmeal, you can easily adapt it, add on certain things, certain toppings, add in different components to make it enjoyable and exciting every single time. When I was growing up, my mom would always insist on us having oatmeal. However, it was always so bland and so boring. So, sorry, Mom. The only way you would have me eat oatmeal back then was if it were like the Quaker single serving packs that came in like the amazing flavors like apple cinnamon, maple brown sugar. However, they were always so sweet. Even I found them sweet as a kid. And to be honest, they're not the best price-wise, especially if you were going to have it every single day. It honestly wasn't until 2 years ago when my love for oatmeal started. I wouldn't say reignite or return because I never liked it. So it wasn't until 2 years when I found oatmeal and started having it every single day. But this time around, I had it in a way that it wasn't boring anymore and it was actually pleasant and really enjoyable to eat. Which is why today I'm going to show you guys 4 ways to have and enjoy oatmeal. If you guys are following me already at my Instagram at SheBakesAndLifts, you guys would know how obsessed I've been with these peanut butter power balls. I have been obsessed with these power balls and I've been making them for probably like 2 weeks. Ultimate sweet treat minus the guilt. There's so many things I love about these power balls. 1, it's an amazing and tasty snack. And 2, it only legit takes 10 to 15 minutes to make tops. 3, they're such a portable snack. They're perfect for like long drives, vacations, hikes, you name it. Easily put it in a container and bring them along with you, or even to work, honestly. Stash them into your cabinet easily. And 4, because they're packed with good protein, healthy carbs, and healthy fats, they'll fill you right up and keep you satiated for a long time. I'm using this powdered peanut butter from PB&Me and it's just great because lately I've been on a cut and it's just awesome with like calories, but feel free to use regular natural peanut butter. Sometimes I do get the ones at Whole Foods as well, wherein they just like churn it out straight from peanuts into your bowl. I wasn't lying when I told you guys that all it takes is 10-15 minutes tops, because literally once everything is inside the bowl, all you have to do is mix. And there you guys have it. Depending on where you're at, what city you are in, depending on like the humidity or how hot and dry it is, sometimes you may have to add a little bit more of peanut butter, honey, or water just to sort of like get the texture that works for you, a texture that you're easily able to roll without it sticking too much on your hands, but at the same time dry enough that you could shape them into balls easily. One pro tip, however, working at bakeries and having experience in restaurants, is that sometimes if it is too wet that you don't want to change the ingredients or what exactly is going into them, and we do that sometimes with cookies, with balls, and some bars, you could easily pop them into the fridge for like 10-15 minutes, have them set. That way they're much easier to roll. Now these guys are absolutely ready to be eaten or kept in an airtight container in the fridge, and they will keep for about 1 to 2 weeks. If you guys are on Pinterest or Instagram, then you are definitely not a stranger to overnight oats, because they're simply the easiest way to prepare your oats. Today I'll be making Chunky Monkey overnight oats. All you gotta do is basically mix all the ingredients, pop them in the fridge, and the next day they're absolutely ready. The science behind overnight oats is basically overnight the oats absorb the almond milk as well as the chia seeds, and chia seeds are known to be able to absorb at least up to 5 times their normal weight. And so in the morning when you open them up, it becomes this creamy, amazing goodness. And with the Chunky Monkey, it's basically going to be topped off with bananas and nuts and chocolate. I know, right? Like, what's not to love about Chunky Monkey? It is absolutely one of the best flavor combinations. I'm a huge sucker for banana and chocolate, and just adding nuts is just like the cherry on top. Next off is my Japanese-inspired miso oatmeal. Sometimes I am craving for something that is not sweet, and this savory oatmeal just about fills that. Like I said, if you guys do follow me on Instagram, you'll see more of what I eat in a day on my IG stories, and lately this has just been my go-to to end the day. I like ending my day with a carb-rich meal at the same time and just about adjust how much protein and fat I can add along with it. So if I have a lot of room for protein and fat, I'd go ahead and add in whole eggs. If I don't have a lot of fat left, I'd add in basically egg whites, which is primarily protein. That way it's very versatile, it's very adjustable to your macros and sort of like what you have and the ingredients. You could basically become adventurous with it and just like try a lot of different ones. Same as the others, I'm going to be adding these rolled oats as well as this organic miso. There are a ton of different types of miso, but this is the red type, and I like this brand in general. You could find it in any TNT or Canadian superstore, but I just like it because it has a little bit of like actual soybeans that you'll see inside, and as you guys can see, I use a ton of it, and I'm actually down to like the end of it. And because it is miso inspired, of course, I also have wakame or kelp, which is great. I love seaweed in general, and I'm also adding in today some imitation crab meat. Not the healthiest thing because obviously it is imitation crab, but I am a sucker for crab meat or crab stick, and I just feel like it just completes the whole thing together. I'm also adding in 1 egg and a little bit of garlic that you guys will see me chop in a bit, and then I'm just gonna combine all of that into that pot with the boiling water, let it boil, simmer down, and until it thickens. Next off, I'm pretty much just going to combine everything into the pot and let it boil, and once it comes to a boil, just like sort of simmer it down. And the key to cooking oatmeal whenever you're doing that is that you don't want to be overcooking or overboiling your oats. It is so much more tasty when you allow them to cook slowly and let them simmer, boil down, plump down, and that way the texture is so much more pleasant to eat. So I'm adding in about a teaspoon of miso paste, and I would say about 40 grams of oatmeal. 2 tablespoons of the wakame that I showed you guys earlier, my chopped garlic, and then the rest of my imitation crab or crab stick. And then the egg, I won't add it till later on just because I like adding it towards the end when it's a lot thicker. That way I don't overcook my eggs. And if you guys have any experience with adding eggs to soups and stuff like that, it's so much nicer to add it towards the end. The residual heat in like the last few minutes is enough to cook the eggs. That way it won't stick to anything. It won't be rubbery as well. I'm just eyeballing this, but I'll leave the whole recipe down below as well so you guys could try it. It's about the texture that we want. We want it to be fluffy. We want the oats to like open up and soak up. And this is pretty much done. I'm gonna go in ahead and drop my egg. It's similar to like when you make Chinese soups, commonly where they add or drop the egg, hence egg drop soup, at the end. That way it gets really thick and just binds everything. It is a lot nicer when it's like still whole. There it is. Yay! Feel free to add in like nori, seaweed strips, or basically even for a kake to sort of like add a little bit more flavor to this. With these, I've done it in the past. I've even added tofu, green onions, and stuff like that just to like make the flavor pop out more. I'm a huge fan of anything that's Japanese flavored or inspired, so this one just like ticks and hits everything right off the bat. I know it's an unconventional way of having oatmeal, so if you do give this recipe a try, let me know, tag me or comment down below, and I'm curious how you guys like it. Kind of burnt my tongue there. Last but not the least is another versatile protein oatmeal, and this time around I'm going in ahead and adding protein powder. I know a lot of girls who love having proats or protein oatmeal post-workout or to end the day as a sweet treat, and this is just basically a great recipe to start with. This time around, I'm going in and adding protein powder into that oatmeal for that added protein boost. I personally think that vanilla goes well with anything, so I always have vanilla protein powder at home. But if you have any other protein powder, any other brand, any other flavor, feel free to use that. If you have cookies and cream, if you have salted caramel, if you have double chocolate, those all work great as a canvas for any sweet cravings, any protein oatmeal that you want to come up with. Today, however, we are actually making apple pie protein oatmeal. Just a couple of tweaks added into my basic protein oatmeal recipe already satisfied all of my cravings, so definitely give this a go. I'll let you guys know down below what the base recipe is and sort of like what I tweaked this to become apple pie. So for this recipe, I pretty much have my apples, my ground cinnamon and my cinnamon bark, my unsweetened original almond milk, my rolled oats, my honey, and my Women's Best Iso Whey protein and vanilla. I basically added the chopped apples into the sauce pot, and I'm going to be adding about a tablespoon of honey, and I'm just going to let these simmer down along with the cinnamon. So these have been simmering for about 5 minutes and they're pretty much done. I tried one piece and they're soft, and then like the cinnamon and the sugar has been pretty much absorbed by the apples. So I'm gonna take these off the heat and just let it cool slightly before I go on with the rest of my protein oatmeal. And without washing the same pot that I use to cook and simmer down the apples, I'm going to go in ahead and start off my basic protein oatmeal recipe. The reason why I wanted to use the same pot was that so that the rest of like the cinnamon and the apple goodness from like the sauteed apples could sort of like seep into the oatmeal as well. And here I just have my half cup of rolled oats and my 3/4 of a cup of almond milk, as well as with vanilla extract. And I'm just gonna let that boil and I'll leave it off to simmer. Alright, so at this point I gave it a try with a spoon and I'm pretty happy with the texture of the oats and the thickness, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it off the heat. And there you have it, guys, apple pie protein oatmeal or proats. Like I said, one of the reasons why I love this is how versatile it is. Whatever you're craving for, you can basically go in ahead and sort of like adapt that into this oatmeal. So whether you're craving for blueberry crumble, chocolate caramel, chocolate brownie, carrot cake, you could go in ahead and basically go crazy and be creative in your toppings and to sort of like satisfy that sweet treat in a much healthier way. So there you have it, guys, 4 simple but healthy ways to enjoy oatmeal, both savory and sweet. I personally like adding protein to any carb-rich meal because it does help with reducing the glycemic load that you're getting from those carbs. Essentially, the protein will also help in how slowly your body breaks down those carbs, allowing you to feel full and satiated for a longer time. As I showed you guys today, you could add in protein to your oatmeal in a myriad of ways. You could add in protein powder, yogurt, eggs, egg whites, hemp seeds, nut butters, anything that you want, anything that you love having, you could basically adapt it to add to your oatmeal. I went in ahead and used my PB&E peanut butter, my Women's Best protein powder, and my Almond Breeze original unsweetened almond milk for most of my oatmeal recipes, but feel free to use and experiment with different milks or different protein powders to see what really works well with you. I know that not all protein powders are made the same. Some are a lot thicker and runnier than others, so definitely experiment. This is also pretty much the first time I've cooked anything for you guys here on YouTube, so definitely let me know if you like this video and which recipes you're most likely going to give a try. Definitely, as always, like and subscribe this video so that you'll never miss another video from me as soon as it comes out. And if you're not following me on Instagram yet, kindly do so down below at She Bakes and Lifts, and I'll see you guys next time.